There are places in the world that don't just connect 2 points. They force people to face their own fear. Some sit on mountaintops. Some rest on top of glaciers. And some were never touched by human hands at all, shaped entirely by nature itself. Now, picture a bridge. Hundreds of meters of empty space beneath it. Above it, only a few ropes and a few wooden planks. Every step you take, it shakes, enough to frighten you. Every time the wind blows, that sway grows a little bigger. And in that moment, you're testing the limits of engineering and the limits of your own courage at the same time. So why does humanity keep doing this to itself? Since the beginning of time, humans have wanted to reach one end of the earth to the other. Every obstacle, every cliff, every river became a battlefield. People pushed forward, even into places nature made nearly impossible. Today, we're taking you to the most rugged, most unreachable corners of the planet. Places where building a crossing once seemed impossible. But engineers, laborers, and nameless people who lived centuries ago refused to accept that impossibility, closing these gaps one by one, with rope, with wood, with steel. We'll examine 15 real bridges from every corner of the world. All of them are still standing. All of them are still in use. And each one, starting from the least risky and moving toward the most dangerous, will tell its own story. A story stunning enough to defy belief, rooted in its own corner of the world. Some are made of steel and concrete. Some are nothing but vines and timber. But at the end of this list, waiting for you, is perhaps the most dangerous walking bridge on Earth. A place where altitude, wind, and cold collide all at once. Get ready, because this isn't just a list of bridges. This is the story of humanity's quiet, relentless war against nature itself. We begin our list from the relatively safest point. Number 15, the Capilano Suspension Bridge, Canada. Suspended above a dense rainforest in Vancouver, the Capilano Bridge stretches 137 meters and hangs 170 meters above the riverbed. Supported by modern steel cables, it's visited by millions of tourists every year. But being a tourist attraction doesn't mean it's without danger. The bridge visibly sways under the footsteps of the crowd. And even though that motion is engineered by design, it creates real tension for those crossing it for the first time. Number 14, the Langkawi Sky Bridge, Malaysia. Suspended 700 meters above sea level on a mountain peak in Langkawi Island, this bridge stands out for its curved design. Supported by a single tower, the 125-meter structure lets you see the ocean and the rainforest at the same time, right beneath your feet. But that view comes at a cost. Frequent tropical winds noticeably move the bridge, and at times, clouds roll in and completely block the view. Number 13, the Kakum Canopy Walkway, Ghana. Deep in the rainforests of West Africa, a system of 7 separate bridges strung between the treetops. 30 to 40 meters above the forest floor, supported only by wooden planks and rope netting. This walkway lets you walk through the canopy itself. The bridges are only wide enough for one person, and they visibly sway with every step. Humidity and rainfall make the planks slippery, a risk that matters far more than the height itself. Number 12. The Living Root Bridges, Meghalaya, India. These weren't built by human hands. They were shaped over decades, woven from living tree roots. Used for centuries by the Khasi people of Meghalaya, they cross rivers swollen by monsoon rains. Because they're made of natural material, their strength works differently from human engineering. The roots grow stronger over time, but during wet seasons, they become extremely slippery. And every year, careless steps lead to accidents. Number 11. The Quishuachaca Rope Bridge, Peru. A relic of the Inca Empire, this bridge has been rebuilt using the same technique for over 600 years, entirely from woven grass rope. Every year, local communities take it apart and reweave it from scratch, because the natural fibers don't last longer than a year. This 28-meter bridge hangs 100 meters above the Apurimac Canyon. Relying only on plant fiber instead of modern steel makes it one of the world's most primitive and most fragile crossings. Number 10. Puente de Ojuela, Mexico. Built in 1898 to reach a mining district, this suspension bridge stretches 300 meters, 100 meters above a canyon. It leads to an abandoned mining town, and over time, its maintenance has only ever been partial. The bridge's wooden base has been worn down by sun and wind for over a century. The fact that it's still open to visitors today stands in sharp contrast to its abandoned surroundings. Number 9. The Zhangjiajie Glass Bridge, China. The world's highest and longest glass-bottomed bridge. Stretching 430 meters, standing 300 meters high, its completely transparent floor lets you see straight down into the void beneath your feet. Even though it's engineered to be extremely strong, its psychological effect is a different story. Many visitors freeze, convinced the glass is about to break. In 2017, the bridge was temporarily closed after a tourist collapsed from fear. Number 8. The Gasa Suspension Bridge, Nepal. Nestled in the foothills of the Himalayas, in the Annapurna region, this bridge is one of the main crossings used by trekkers and local villagers alike. It's positioned over a deep valley, fully exposed to powerful winds. Like most suspension bridges in Nepal, this one is in a constant state of vibration. During monsoon season, the swollen river below roars loud enough to be felt even from the bridge itself, making the crossing psychologically harder. Number 7. The Sidu River Bridge, China. One of the highest bridges in the world, 496 meters above the valley floor. Despite being a modern suspension bridge, during construction, workers had to first fire ropes across the canyon using rockets. The terrain was so steep, the traditional methods simply didn't work. While it's open to vehicle traffic today, there's a narrow walkway along its edge for pedestrians. At this height, the force of the wind can be felt even through the bridge's structure. Number 6. The Trift Bridge, Switzerland. Built over a melting glacier in the Alps, this bridge stretches 170 meters, 100 meters above the glacial valley. Because the Trift Glacier is melting so rapidly, the bridge has to be repositioned again and again.
Only wide enough for one person. If you meet someone coming the other way, one of you has to step back. Glacial winds visibly sway the bridge on almost every crossing.
Number 5. The Hussaini Suspension Bridge, Pakistan. In the heart of the Karakoram Range, over the Hunza River. Most of the wooden planks are missing or broken. The ropes have loosened over time. For local residents, this isn't a tourist experience. It's part of daily life, the only way to reach the village on the other side. Here, the wind doesn't just blow. It feels like it's trying to tear the bridge apart. The glacial water below runs cold and fast in every season. Even experienced mountaineers describe this bridge as one of the most genuinely dangerous crossings on Earth.
Number 4. The Immortal Bridge, Mount Hua Plank Walk, China. On one of China's most dangerous mountains, this path is made of narrow wooden planks bolted directly into a rocky cliff face. In some places, the walkway is only 30 centimeters wide, with hundreds of meters of vertical empty space beneath it. The only safety equipment is a single harness and one metal chain. Historically, this path was used by monks to reach a mountain temple. Today, it's known as one of the most extreme walking routes on the planet. Number 3. The Vitim River Bridge, Siberia, Russia. An abandoned railway bridge, but still in use. About 1 kilometer long, with no guardrails, only as wide as 2 railway tracks. Beneath it, the frozen Vitim River flows. In winter, temperatures drop to minus 40 degrees. The tracks ice over, and it's nearly impossible for a vehicle coming from one side to yield to another. This bridge consistently ranks near the top of the world's most dangerous bridges, because here, there is zero margin for error. Number 2. The Annapurna High Pass, Nepal. In some Himalayan crossings, bridges sit above 4,000 meters in altitude. At this elevation, oxygen levels are low. Winds can reach 80 kilometers per hour, and temperatures can plunge below zero without warning. The danger here doesn't only come from the bridge's structure. The human body's response to altitude also affects balance and decision-making. That's why these crossings carry serious risk, even for experienced mountaineers. And at the top of our list, Europe's highest altitude suspension bridge, the Titlis Cliff Walk. Positioned 3,041 meters above sea level on the summit of a glacier-covered mountain. Here, 3 forces converge at once: altitude, wind, and cold. Air temperature stays below freezing for most of the year. Wind speeds can exceed 100 kilometers per hour, and the bridge hangs directly above thick glacial ice. Supported by thin steel cables, this 100-meter crossing lets you look straight down into the glacier crevices beneath you. High altitude, thin oxygen, fierce wind, and freezing cold. When these 4 forces combine, both the human body and mind are tested at once. That's exactly why it earns the title of the world's most extreme walking bridge. 15 bridges,
15 different landscapes, 15 different stories of danger. Some were shaped by steel, some by rope, some by nature's own force alone. But they all shared the same thing in common: humanity's determination to cross a gap once declared impossible.
From the touristic sway of Capilano to the glacial winds of Titlis, this journey shows us one thing: humanity has never accepted the limits nature tried to draw. For every cliff, a solution. For every impossibility, an engineering answer.
So, which of these bridges made you the most tense? Let us know in the comments which one you'd actually dare to cross. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because next time, we're not taking you to the world's most dangerous places, but to its most mysterious ones.